Usisahau kusubscribe na kubonyeza alama ya kengele ili kupokea habari zetu kila wakati.
Maajabu. Welcome coach. The press conference.
Habari asubuhi. Welcome to the TFF, to Taifa Stars press meeting. And the press meeting is about the second round of the World Cup qualification. This time is a back-to-back against Benin. We are playing on the 7th of October here in Dar es Salaam. Unfortunately, it will still be without spectators. I was really looking forward that it would be allowed with spectators, but that's still the case. There will be no spectators. And then after the game on the 7th, we go to Benin and we play on the 12th of October. As you can see, after 2 rounds, we are leading the group, and I think that's a wonderful position for us to have, and I think it's also a surprise for most of us, but it's a nice surprise. First of all, I want to highlight today that here in Tanzania, everybody loves football. You love the football from the grassroots, whatever you are boys, you are girls, and some they go the elite way, some they go the social way, but everyone loves football. Later, when you come into the senior side, some will play still the Sunday football, some go for 2nd division, 1st division, and then we have our Tanzanian Premier League. I think everywhere in the world, there's only one team who can unite a nation, and that's the national team. It can unite the nation, it can make us proud, and it gives us hope, and we are turbo pomoja. It's normally, like yesterday when there was a big game here and there, some people they're trusting, have faith in this team, some in this team, some in another team. But when it comes to national team, there's only Moja national team. And I feel that a lot of people are getting more and more interested in the Taifa Stars, that national team can do well, because that's the only team who can unite us. When we play the World Cup qualification, we play against Benin, we play against Madagascar, we play against DRC Congo. From all 3 opponents, 90% of the players are playing in European top clubs. When you look at Benin, nearly all players are playing in the French league, either League 1 or League 2. Then they have some players who play in Germany in the Bundesliga, 2nd Bundesliga, but 90% of the players are playing in European top clubs. In Tanzania, it's the other way around. 90% of our players are playing in Tanzania, in the Tanzania Premier League. And it is a big difference to play in a big club in Europe or play in Tanzania in terms of technically, tactically, mentally. There is a difference. The best way we can compensate for that is to have time together with the players. Bring the best players together in camp and prepare them and give them a taste of what is the demand to play international football when it comes to technically, tactically, and mentally. It's also, if we have the time for preparation, it's also important to play international friendlies, because that's an important part of our preparation. When I mentioned 90% of our players are playing in Tanzania, I'm saying let us look at this positively. Because when 90% of our players are playing in Tanzania, it's only up to TFF and the club to decide how long time Taifa Stars can prepare and be in camp. Because end of the day, TFF and the clubs, they can make the decision when to start the Tanzania Premier League. It starts early, it gives more time for Taifa Stars. If it starts late, less time for Taifa Stars. This time, the decision has been made that we can report to camp on the 3rd of October. 3rd of October. It is the same day as the round 2 of Tanzania Premier League finish. It's the same day, which means like player, I can give you one example. We have Namungo playing Kagera Sugar. They play on the 3rd of October. From Namungo, Reliant Lusatio is playing. From Kagera Sugar, Mechak is playing. So they are playing on the 3rd of October, and now they have to travel after the game to come to Dar. So I suppose they have to travel on the 4th, and I think it's like 8 hours to come to Dar, so they'll be here late on the 4th. So what kind of preparation do we have? Our preparation is we report to camp on the 3rd of October. Then we do training on the 4th, and we do training on the 5th. 2 training sessions. And then on the 6th, we have our match preparation, and then the next day we are playing on the 7th. I just want to highlight for you that this is the session we have. We have a session on the 4th, and we have a session on the 5th. Another issue I want to highlight today is that when we select some players for national teams and give them their debut at the national team, very often in the moment they play for national team, some of the bigger clubs, they are now looking and they sign contract with these players. I could mention Mr. Israel, Muhilo, Edward. After they were selected for national team, they have signed with big clubs. But because of the competition in the big clubs, they are not always in the start line, and they are not playing regularly. That is a challenge for the national team, and it's also a challenge for the players themselves. Because if a player is not playing regularly, it's a problem for him. Because sometimes media, you are asking me why you select players who are not playing. I can give you one example. Last game we played, I think M. Samiro was one of the best players from the national team when we played Madagascar. But is he playing in his club in Simba? Pull, small. But he is still a good player, and he can still do a good job for the national team. I also want to, again, to highlight for you how do we select the players. There are different criteria. First of all, we look at the performance. The performance they do when they are together with national teams, the performance they do when the Tanzanian Premier League is on. Then we have the data. We have the system called Catapult. You know, all the players, they have a chip behind here. So after each and every training, each and every game, we getting the data, who did the most running, who was doing very little running, who was doing sprinting, who was the fastest players. We know, we have so many data of the players. Lastly, we also have an IT system called Instat. Instat is a system where you have all the games from the World Cup qualifiers. You can see everything about Benin, about the team, about the players, about Tanzania players. So you can observe opponents. You can look at players abroad. How is Simon Msuva doing? How is Samata doing in his new club, Royal Antwerpen? I can go into details. So this is the criteria for the selection. This time, before I mention the squad, I would say that there are some changes, not many changes, because we we are happy with the squad we have. But last time John Boko was injured. He will be back. I'm happy to have him back at the national team. Jonas Mkude will be back. And then there are also some players who will not be in the national team this time. It is players like Showboy, Lianga, and Mordatia who will not be in the squad this time. So now I will mention the 25 players we have selected. For the goalkeeper, we have Aishi Manula, Mtacha, and then we have the two young goalkeepers, Wilbur and Kabwili. For defenders, we have Shomari Kapomba, Israel Mwenda, Erasto Nyoni, Dixon Job, Bakari Wanyeto, Kennedy Juma, Lusatio Elukaka, Muhammad Hussein, Nixon Kibabache, Edward Manyama. For midfielder, we have Mesak, we have Novatus, we have Samiro, we have Jonas Mkude, we have Faisal Saloom, we have Nado, we have Abdul Sulaiman, and for strikers, we have Samata, John Boko, Simon Msuba, Relian Lusatio. And then I also want to say I still have in my plan about Kipo Dennis Prosper, but it pending because of his citizens issue. So I don't know at the moment. All I can say is he is in my plan. If possible, it would be wonderful to have him there. So this is the team we have, and as mentioned, we start to report on 3rd of October. We do training on the 4th and the 5th at National Stadium. And on the 6th, we have our final match preparation. On the 7th, we play against Benin. And no doubt, Benin is a strong team. We are also a strong team. We have the respect from our opponent. We also have a strong belief in ourselves. The players believe in themselves, and they also believe in each other. They believe in the team. And I think their confidence is slowly growing to be better and better after competing and get a point with DR Congo, winning at home against Madagascar, who also is a very strong side. Then we are looking forward to the game against Benin on the 3rd of October. Asante sana.
New Vision VTC Driving School ni shule yenye uzoefu wa kutosha katika kutoa mafunzo ya udereva bora. Tunafundisha udereva kwa kutumia mashine za kisasa ziitwazo Sediro, Self Driving Instructor in a Room. Mwanafunzi anajifunza udereva kwetu kama wanavyojifunza katika nchi zilizoendelea kama vile China na Uingereza. Mashine hizi zina faida zifuatazo: kumwezesha mwanafunzi kulifahamu gari kwa muda mfupi sana, kuondoa hali ya uoga kwa mwanafunzi, kumwezesha mwanafunzi kuzijua njia zote za kujihami na ajali, kumfanya mwanafunzi aone kuendesha gari ni kazi rahisi na rafiki. Tunao wakufunzi mahiri na wenye uzoefu mkubwa. Mafunzo yanaanza saa 12:30 asubuhi mpaka saa 11:30 jioni. Mafunzo yanafanyika katika mitaa mbalimbali ya Dar es Salaam. Unaweza kutupigia 0715847004 na 0754847004. Karibu sana New Vision VTC Driving School kwa mafunzo.